You know that feeling, right? Where it feels like you're living the same day over and over again. Time just seems to be slipping through your fingers and whole weeks just blur together. Well, you're not imagining it. Turns out there's a powerful battle happening inside your head, and if you can understand it, you can take back control of your time and your life.
It's a feeling we all know so well. You blink, and somehow it's Friday again. So, why does this happen? Is it just part of getting older, or is there something, deeper going on in our minds that makes everything feel so repetitive and so fast?
Well, it all comes down to two competing characters that are living inside your head. Think of it this way. On one shoulder, you've got the autopilot brain. This is your inner planner, the part of you that just loves a good schedule, a solid routine. But on the other shoulder, you have the adventurous brain. That's your inner explorer, always looking for the next new thing, the next discovery. And yeah, these two are pretty much constantly at war with each other. Now, it's really easy to paint the autopilot brain as the boring one, right? The enemy of fun. But its obsession with routine isn't about laziness at all. It's actually one of your brain's most powerful, most ancient survival strategies.
Here's the deal. Your brain is wired to be efficient. I mean, it's kind of lazy, but in a good way. It wants to use the least amount of energy it possibly can. So, by turning everyday things like your morning coffee routine or the commute to work into automatic habits, it frees up a ton of mental energy for the bigger, more important stuff.
And here's how that actually happens inside your skull. Every time you repeat something, you're basically carving a path in your brain, making it stronger. Do it enough, and the control of that task literally moves from the thinking part of your brain to the automatic part. It's like the brain CEO hands off a regular task to an intern so it can focus on the big picture. It becomes true autopilot.
And all of this is to solve a very real problem, something called decision fatigue. It's a state where, just like it says, your ability to make good choices gets worse and worse the more decisions you make. Think of your willpower like a phone battery. Every little choice, what to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first, drains that battery. Routines are like a power-saving mode for your brain.
So embracing routine isn't about having a boring life. It's about building a solid, stable foundation. All that predictability, it actually creates the space for you to have a happier, healthier life. It's the solid ground you need before you can launch any big adventures. And if you need some hard proof, check this out. Actual research shows that just having a predictable start to your day can slash your body's main stress hormone, cortisol, by as much as half. That is a massive physical impact, just from a little bit of consistency. But of course, that is only half the story. Because if all we ever did was follow routines, life would get incredibly dull fast. There's another equally powerful force inside us, and that's the call to adventure, fueled by our brain's deep, deep craving for something new. I mean, this quote just hits home, doesn't it? We have all felt this. When we were kids, everything was new and exciting, and time just seemed to stretch on forever, packed with memories. Now, as adults, routines take over and, whoosh, a whole summer just disappears. And there is a scientific reason for that. See, when you do something new, your brain can't just coast on autopilot. It has to wake up and work harder. It has to create totally new pathways, recording thicker, more detailed memories. And the more of these new, rich memories you create in a certain period, the longer that period feels when you look back. Novelty literally slows down how you perceive time. So this brings us to this really cool, super simple idea, the novelty rule. It's basically a deliberate strategy to feed that adventurous brain of yours, to make life feel more memorable and, to slow down that feeling of time just speeding by. And the best part is just how easy it is to do. The whole framework is just 2 simple steps. First, try one tiny, low-effort new thing every week. That's it. Then, once a month, plan for one slightly bigger new experience. That's the whole formula. And when we say tiny, we really mean tiny. We're not talking about learning to skydive here. It could be as simple as ordering a different coffee, listening to a genre of music you never listened to, or just walking down a different street on your way home. These little acts are just enough to jolt your brain out of its rut. Okay, so we have these 2 incredibly powerful forces, right? The autopilot brain demanding efficiency and order, and the adventurous brain demanding novelty and excitement. This isn't just a cute metaphor. This internal conflict is a famous, well-studied problem in neuroscience and even in computer science. It's called the exploration-exploitation dilemma. Now, exploitation sounds kind of bad, but all it really means is using the option you already know works. That's your autopilot brain. Exploration is your adventurous brain taking a gamble on something new, hoping for an even bigger reward. Every intelligence system, from you to the most advanced AI, has to constantly solve this exact puzzle. This table breaks it down perfectly. You've got exploitation, your autopilot, which is all about being efficient. The risk? You might be missing out on something way better. Then you've got exploration, your adventurer. The goal is discovery, but the risk there? You might waste your time and money on a new restaurant that's just terrible. So, here's maybe the most important takeaway of all this. That feeling of being pulled in two different directions, that's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's not a bug in your software. It is the central feature of how a smart, adaptable brain is supposed to work. It's a sign that your mind is doing its job perfectly. So if this is a war, how do you win it? How do you manage this constant tug-of-war between the predictable and the new? Well, the answer isn't to pick a side. It's to completely change the rules of the game. Yeah, the goal here is not for your adventurous brain to crush your autopilot brain or the other way around. The real secret is to get them to work together, to get them to form a strategic alliance where each one actually helps the other out. So think about it like this. You use the power of your autopilot brain. You build smart, effective routines for all the necessary but kind of boring parts of life. Your mornings, your workout, your weekly planning. And by doing that, you create a surplus. You save up all that time and all that precious mental energy that you're no longer wasting on 1,000 tiny decisions. And then you gift that entire surplus to your adventurous brain to spend on exploration, creativity, and new experiences. The routine literally pays for the adventure. And it's so important to remember this isn't a one-time fix. It's not a destination you finally get to and then you're done. It is a constant, dynamic practice. It's a daily negotiation between these two amazing parts of who you are. In the end, your brain is built for both of these things. It's a machine designed for incredible efficiency, and at the very same time, it has a limitless capacity for wonder and discovery. So the only question left is, which part of that brilliant machine are you going to choose to feed today?